I'm Beth McDonald, and I'm the morning show host on 99.9 KEZ here in Phoenix, and I've been doing it a long time. Actually, I moved out from Indiana when I was right after college. I had applied at a few stations here when my parents came out for vacation, and 6 months later I got a call from KTAR. So I moved out, I started working for KTAR late 1980, on election day I started. And I stayed for 2 years, and then when my first baby, Shannon, was born, I quit to stay home with her. And then after a couple of years, I kind of got the itch, and I applied for a job I saw in the newspaper at this new radio station. And so I became the news reader at what was then KLZI, now is KEZ. So I've been there since 1984. Actually, growing up, I didn't know we weren't 100% Irish. I thought we were 100% Irish, and it was my mother who really instilled the love of the Irish, but she was married to the McDonald, and she was not Irish. So she instilled that in us, from a very young age. And when I moved out to Phoenix, I just wanted to talk about it. That was just such a part of my heritage. It's this Irish part of me, and the Notre Dame games my mother would take us to, and St. Patrick's Day parties my parents would have. And so I just came out here and started talking about that, and then I found that there's quite a large Irish community here, not only Irish American, but from Ireland. And they started kind of getting in touch with me. And that's how it started. And then I met Seamus McCaffrey at the Dubliner one night, and that friendship grew, and that's how I ended up doing the shows, the morning shows, for many, many years, from either Seamus's downtown and then to Rosie's, unfortunately now closed. So that's how it started, just when I moved out here and started talking about it on the radio. And then I found there were a lot of Irish people around. The St. Patrick's Day shows were so much fun. They started at 6 a.m. Seamus had the bar open at 6 a.m. People were waiting in line, but we had every age there. We had people with kids, we had babies there, and we'd have the Irish step dancers come out and dance for us. We'd have the bagpipers, and people, we almost didn't have to plan the show after a while. It just happened. Bill and I, Bill is no longer with us. He's been gone now for 12 years. But Bill and I just would get there, and we knew we had a few things planned, but then it just kind of happened. And so I don't know if any one particular memory stands out at those shows, just because they were so much fun. Sometimes they're a little bit of a blur. They go very fast. Not because I was drinking, but that started after the show. But the St. Patrick's Day shows, people still talk about those. The really special thing was that the Irish community here accepted me. They didn't have to. There are a few other Irish people on the radio here, but that was a really special thing for me, to have the Irish community open their arms up and support the show and support the St. Patrick's Day shows. To have this voice for the Irish community, it wasn't something I was looking for. It just kind of happened. And then when it did, I was really happy that people responded and that I could be a voice for the Irish community. To a point, there are other people who are too. And also the people who aren't Irish also enjoyed that part of the show, and they embraced it too. So it started to encompass more than just the Irish community. A lot of people appreciated it and got involved with it. There are a lot of people at those morning shows on St. Patrick's Day that weren't Irish, but they were on St. Patrick's Day. I think it's an important thing to be a strong Irish woman, and I think it sets a great example for young women. That you can be whatever you want to be, you can do whatever you want to do. That's one thing I was very lucky. My parents always said that to us. You can be whatever you want to be, and just put your mind to it. I was also in the right place at the right time, which doesn't hurt. But don't be afraid of failure, and don't be afraid of taking risks. And that's kind of what the whole thing has been about for me.